day, fellow gamers, and welcome to the first installment of my news update on this Wednesday, the 20th of March. Now, I'd like to point out that I am recording within my flat. I do not have a soundproof flat as I thought I did. So you just might hear some random sounds in the background. And there's nothing I can do about it because my knowledge of sound editing software, I think that's what you call it, is very limited, and I am learning as I go on. So, headlines of today are as follows. Aliens Colonial Marines gets a Mursa patch update. SimCity sales impressive despite controversy surrounding its launch. EA apologizes to SimCity fans by giving away free games. A Borderlands short film is in the works. And phases. Star Trek fans better stay tuned. These phases might just be interesting enough. Aliens Colonial Marines gets a Mursa patch update. The first post-launch patch was released on Xbox Live yesterday, with PC and PlayStation 3 patches to follow shortly. The patch is a whopping 3.8 GB in size, which Steam will supposedly automatically download. Damn, that doesn't sound right. Anyway, this patch fixes various bugs with the UI single-player campaign and, of course, the multiplayer. The interesting thing to note is that Gearbox doesn't mention an AI fix anywhere in their patch notes. Thus, the foreseeable future still includes drunken alien AI on crack. Now here's my issue surrounding this. It still looks like developers are concentrating on consoles before PC, and with the PS4 on the horizon, that notion is not likely to change. All I can hope for is with the PS4 x86 architecture that PC games will improve, and maybe, just maybe, patches could be released simultaneously. Maybe they have sold more copies on Xbox than on PC, and that's why they probably rolled out on Xbox Live first. I don't really know. SimCity sales are impressive despite controversy surrounding its launch. Now, we all know I don't have to go into detail of SimCity's launch. It has been thoroughly covered by anyone and everyone out there. Despite the troubled launch, SimCity sold 1.1 million copies within its first 2 weeks. 44% of those were downloaded digitally. Maxis is still running rampant, trying to fix errors and upgrades to their servers. And according to Eurogamer.net, the server's capacity has increased by 400% and a 40 times increase on server response times. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but as far as I know, most of the rants on forums and on YouTube was from people who bought the game digitally, and they had difficulty in downloading the game. The anticipation of this game was huge, with a lot of YouTubers getting beta keys and showing the game off to their subscribers. SimCity has a huge following, and according to the sales figures, 484,000 digital copies were sold. How could Maxis not have foreseen some issues arising? But luckily for us, EA has come up with the solution. EA apologizes to SimCity fans by giving away free games. Yep, you heard correctly, EA is actually apologizing for their poor service with SimCity. This is only applicable to anyone who registers the game before the 25th of March, however. This list consists of 8 titles, and players will be able to choose from any one of them. The titles are as follows. Standard editions includes Battlefield 3, Dead Space 3, Mass Effect 3, Medal of Honor Warfighter, and Need for Speed Most Wanted. The other titles by default is Bejeweled 3, Plants vs Zombies, and SimCity 4 Deluxe Edition. This is a pretty impressive list of games. Unfortunately, most of us owns almost all of the titles, with maybe the exception of Dead Space 3. I mean, it's a recent launch, obviously. I have one bit of advice concerning this list. I don't own SimCity, but if I did, I would most definitely choose Dead Space 3, even if I owned the game already, just for the sake of hitting EA where it hurts the most, their wallets. Well, enough about SimCity. I can feel my blood pressure about to blixen through the roof. So on to some good, or better news at least. A Borderlands short film is in the works. The Academy of Art University has partnered up with 2K and Gearbox through a program they call Borderlands Cooperative. 2K and Gearbox are to provide students with resources to help them create the film before the end of this year. Students are to create original short films, and if the film is chosen, it could become part of the Borderlands mythos. And the team of students behind the short story will also be eligible. My pronunciation is a bit crappy today. They will also be eligible for an internship interview at 2K Games. Now, again, my feelings about this is quite random. I love the fact that 2K and Gearbox is taking this approach to find new talent. The downside to this is the fact that a panel of judges consisting of Gearbox, 2K, and the university will decide on which story to add to the mythos. I feel like it's kind of what do you call it, inside the box thinking. Okay, cool, you can't change mythos, don't get me wrong. Mythos in a fictional universe is perhaps the most important part in the story. My main concern about this is, how will the hardcore fans of Borderlands respond to this? Will the story become part of a DLC? Will fans be expected to pay for this DLC? I don't know. So I will keep you informed about any updates regarding this. And hopefully, my worries are unnecessary. Now, Star Trek fans, come closer. Welcome to this part of the news, but phases! Star Trek fans can finally rejoice. Well, sort of. Scientists at NTT Basic Research Laboratories in Japan have successfully constructed the world's first phaser. It essentially emits sound waves without the aid of a laser light. This is good news for Trekkie fans, but before all of us, yes, I'm a Trekkie fan, before all of us go and dust off our costumes, we should take note that this project is still in its infancy. These phasers will probably be used in the fields of science, medicine, and electronics research. Unfortunately, no weapons set on stun yet, which is probably a good thing, because I would run around and stun everyone. That's it for now. Be sure to tune in on Friday to get another update in the world of gaming. If you have any comments or views on these videos, and perhaps suggestions, please post them in the comments below. Probably as you can hear, my flat is not soundproof. The grandchildren of the people living next door is screaming at the moment. No idea why. I'm not gonna check in on that, obviously. Because they're children. I think the one is 4 and the other one is 2. But anyway, this was my, hopefully you can hear me through the screaming. This was my first news update, and as you can see, I'm continually trying to improve everything. So tune in on Friday, and maybe something might have improved. Again, subscribe if you'd like. And have a good one. And for the people who's on holiday tomorrow in South Africa, enjoy tonight.